All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you again for coming back to the Juneteenth, the vendor orientation. Glad we got another awesome group. Hoping you are going to be so awesome. You're going to make a ton of money and you're going to be calling B up saying, hey, I'm in for next year on the 21st of June. That's what we're talking about. Our goal is to get you as much money as possible and help your businesses grow, not only for this event, all for the other events that B has scheduled and for throughout the year. That's part of the role we have. So at this time, I'd like to welcome everybody. My name is Juan Garrett. I'm the Executive Director of Riverside Center for Innovation. Would like for B to introduce himself and Emily Keebler as well. So B, you want to go next?
Well, hello, everybody that doesn't know me. I'm B. Marshall. I'm the organizer of the Western PA Juneteenth celebration, the Black Music Festival, and the Pittsburgh Soul Food Festival here in the city of Pittsburgh.
And hi, I'm Emily Keebler, the Kiva Pittsburgh Program Director at Riverside Center for Innovation.
Thank you both. Thank you both. So as we move forward to the next slide, this will be the agenda that we have prepared for you this evening. And we're going to do a quick recap. As you can see on that first bullet point, then we're going to B will close, B will transition to over with B, and he'll talk about the Juneteenth, the Black Music Festivals, both. And we'll hear from some of the vendors to give you some of the experience and their tips that to help you get to this whole next level as well. So with that being said, again, I just want to reiterate, we are recording this, and I hope everybody's comfortable with that as well. Thank you. So on the next slide, through Riverside Center for Innovation, some of you may know we operate the Diversity Business Resource Center, which is your one-stop shop to work with entrepreneurs of color, disadvantaged DBE entrepreneurs as well. We offer free entrepreneurial training classes through our BizFit and specific workshops that can really help your companies grow, including OSHA trainings, credit score, credit repair, financial literacy classes, some technology classes. Our goal is to help some of you all really become digital citizens. We at Riverside Center for Innovation are working hard to become digital citizens ourselves. And I'm gonna tell you, this digital world and technology world is moving faster than I care to. Every week there's something going on, I'm just now mastering Zoom a little bit and Asana, and somebody threw out Monday.com to me yesterday, and I said, well, wait a minute now. I'm just getting through all this stuff. So these are some of the things that we want to make sure that we offer to you all to grow your businesses throughout the year and throughout the years coming. If you register, you'll see that address right there. I'll throw that in the chat again. But if you register at dbrcpittsburgh.org, it's a free registration. We send out weekly blasts to let you all know of opportunities that are happening throughout the year. And so that's key and important for your businesses, and you'll know a lot of the things that we do. We currently are located on the North Shore. We run an incubator building down here that is about 60,000 square feet. If anybody's interested in office space for your headquarters, for your office, please reach out to me. We have space here, offers free parking, tenant parking, reserve parking. Also, it includes your internet, like cleaning, and all your utilities are included. And you're located in some of these incredible opportunities through government agencies such as a hub zone, the technology zone, and a KIZ if you know about technology. So please feel free to reach out to us. There's our website. We just kicked in orientation yesterday. I believe we probably still have a little bit of time. Our award-winning BizFit entrepreneurial training program begins tomorrow. And it's from 6 to 8 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays through May 18th, as you can see, our graduation. And so it's very key and important. We really going to have fun with this. You're going to learn a lot. We're going to make sure your business plans are geared up, ready to grow, move forward. And I think a lot of you, I've seen some of the names come through. You're already enrolled in BizFit, but we want to take you to the next level with those other entrepreneur trainings as you get through Tier 1 and you move on to Tier 2s and Tier 1. Really looking forward to meeting a lot of you all to move forward on that as well. So I believe on this slide here, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Emily, and she's going to give you a presentation about Kiva.
Hi, everyone. We just wanted to tell you a little bit about the Kiva Pittsburgh partnership that we run at Riverside because Kiva offers interest-free, fee-free loans. So if you need a nice lump sum of cash to get additional inventory for your booth at the festival, to get the display you need, this tent, or even just to pay the application cost, I'd be happy to help anybody with that. So just a little bit about Kiva. So this is the details of the loans that they offer. So we are not Kiva, we partner with Kiva, but we've had a lot of success with them. I actually need to update my records. I've kind of stopped keeping track because the number's getting too high, but I think we're approaching 350 Kiva loans to Pittsburgh businesses. So it works well, and we love to see people graduate from the program, repay their Kiva loan, come back for a larger one, or go out and get a more traditional loan after that. But so you can see Kiva offers micro loans, 1 to 10,000. They do also have a $15,000 loan. As I said, no interest or fees, which is great. There's a 3-month grace period before you begin repayments. And then the repayments depends on the size of the loan that you borrowed. It can be used for almost any kind of business expense. There are a couple of exceptions, the main one being repaying existing debt, but just about anything you'd use for the festival or any other business use, because of course Kiva loans are available year round, not just leading up to Juneteenth. And one of the reasons we love Kiva loans is because there's no minimum time in business or a minimum credit score to be approved. So you do have to have your business established as far as like registered with the state. But beyond that, and a PayPal account. You have to have or create a PayPal account. So if you are interested in applying, you can go straight to kiva.org/borrow and start an application. I'll see you started it and reach out to you, or you can contact me first and we can talk about strategy, if it's the right fit for you, and you know what you're going to need to get together to apply. So you can see my contact info there. I'll also put it in the chat. Juan, you want to talk a little about the URA services? Oh, thanks, Juan.
Sure, and I just put your email for anybody that's looking to reach out to Emily to walk through that process. How key and important is to have those Kiva dollars if you're looking for inventory prior to. The best thing to do it is to do it now. So I just want to reiterate that again. Reach out to Emily and let us help you get those Kiva
Oh,
loans.
I do want to say, actually, I was meeting with somebody from this group, and we were looking at some example Kiva loans the other day. It turns out there is a Kiva team that's called Juneteenth. So if they're called Juneteenth, this is a group of Kiva lenders, and you're fundraising for a Kiva loan for Juneteenth, I think you're going to be right at the top of their list, and it'll fundraise nice and quickly. But that was fun to see.
All right, thank you. And guess what? We got a surprise guest. Pierce Robinson from the URA is on the call now. So I'll turn this slide over to Pierce so he can talk about the Urban Redevelopment Authority and some of the programs that they have. And Pierce, also include Avenues of Hope if you can.
Sure, absolutely. Can everyone hear me? Are we good?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. My name is Pierce Robinson. I am the manager of Diversified Business Solutions at the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh. For those who aren't familiar, the URA is the economic development arm of the city of Pittsburgh's government. I'll be brief. I don't have a lot of things to say. I met with the group last week and a ton of you reached out to me, which is awesome. So we're right now setting up consultations with you all. And we look forward to, meeting everyone. If anyone is interested in setting their business up, or if they're already an established business in the city of Pittsburgh, please reach out to me so we can talk to figure out how to move your business forward. But just a little bit about some of the things that we offer, some of the services we offer. We can help you with site location. That's one of the things we do. We help you with technical assistance, whether that's, helping you get your business plan together, accounting, budget, anything that has to do with, getting your business either set up or move to the next level. We could definitely help with that. But primarily what we do for small businesses is that we are a lender. We are a direct lender. And one of the tools that we have currently going on right now is a tool geared specifically towards minority businesses. It's the Minority Business Growth and Recovery Loan. The essence of this loan is to help minority businesses who are locked out of the PPP and some of the federal programs transition out of COVID. It's a product up to 100K. Really straightforward terms. You know, I don't want you to think that credit is a barrier. We work with people with, you know, various sort of credit situations and scenarios. First year, no interest, no payments, and nothing like that. So, I mean, it's a really, really good product. We have like a little bit over $4 million. We're trying to get out the door to minority businesses in Pittsburgh. So, you know, please reach out if your business fits this criteria. And even if it doesn't, you know, if maybe you're in a startup phase, or, you know, you're early on, or thinking about, you know, getting things started, we have tools that could actually, financial tools which can actually help you get started, which is something that's very unusual in the you know, the financial market. There's not a lot of tools out there to help businesses actually start. So our microloan is a little bit different from what Emily was explaining with the Kiva. It's our microloan is up to 30K, and it can be used for startups or existing businesses. Like I said, we work with people who have challenging sort of, you know, credit situations. And yeah, it's a really, really great tool. It's between 5 and 30,000. And if you need a lot of money and you're even in the beginning stages of your startup, and when I mean a startup, it's like typically businesses, you might have your business organized, like, you know, you might have your LLC or whatnot registered, but you might not have filed tax returns or something of that nature. So we would have to consider you as a startup. So our microloan is for people who need like a smaller amount, but if you need like a really, really large amount of money, we just launched our CDFI, which is, you know, it's similar to Bridgeway Capital. And we have a product that is from 30 to 150K. So that's a tool we just dropped. It's called the Able. And that's a really cool product that we just rolled out. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I just really wanted to give an overview of that sort of thing, just so you know what's out there. And if you need any more details, I'm going to drop my email in there so you can reach out. One of the things that Juan wanted me to touch on is the Avenues of Hope project that is being led by the mayor's office. And essentially what that is that the city of Pittsburgh, you know, led by the URA, is going to invest in 7 streets actually in the city of Pittsburgh, 7 corridors, black corridors primarily. And we're just going to really rebuild the business districts. We have Perrysville Avenue, we have Chartiers Avenue, we have Center Avenue on the hill, we have Larmer Avenue, I think Warrington, I believe. I can't think of them all off the top of my head, but you guys, I mean, it's everywhere. So if you wanted to look it up, you can Google it, or you can reach out to me for more information. But there's going to be a lot of opportunities there. Like I say, we're rebuilding the business district. So if you were looking for a storefront and different things like that, now is the time to really get involved and just really find out what's happening, so we can help you, like I said, you know, take your business from where it is and, you know, take it to wherever you want to go and take it to the next level. So I'll stop. I'll drop my information into the chat. And if you have any questions or you want a consultation, please reach out. Good luck to everyone. And we'll talk to you soon.
Hey, Pierce, don't jump off. I got a question for you. And I already put Pierce's email address in the chat for you already, Pierce. But there's a question. Can you clarify what areas are classified as Pittsburgh for these loans?
Sure. So it's hard to really clarify, but the city of Pittsburgh actually has 90 neighborhoods. If you go to Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh.gov, I believe there's a map. There's an interactive map where you could actually type in the address of your business, and it will tell you if it's actually within the city or not. So yeah, there's a couple tools. We have a tool on our site. I can't think of what it is, but the most sort of popular tool is on the city site. So like I said, you type the address in, and it'll let you know if you're in the city of Pittsburgh or not.
Yeah, and don't forget, if there's Wilkinsburg, is not the city of Pittsburgh.
Right. and even still, I don't want to discourage you guys too. We have partners like, you know, my partner Aaron Aldrich at Bridgeway Capital. Anytime that I can't do a loan, you know, because someone is outside of the city, but they're looking for a product that's really comparable to what we offer, I send them over to Aaron at Bridgeway, and he's usually able to take care of them. So, you know, don't let that discourage you. If you need capital and you're not in the city, still reach out, and I can make that warm connection over to my colleague over at Bridgeway Capital.
Right, and thank you for that. Yeah, and again, those are some of the resources that we can also provide you as well. Other funding, alternative funding sources well that's located in the region. So yeah, reach out to Paris or myself or Emily. We can help any of your businesses get to those next level, and that's our goal. And so I'm getting ready to turn it over to B here to talk about Juneteenth and the Black Music Festival. But before you get started, I do have a question for you, B. Are these events for businesses registered in Pittsburgh?
No, this is for anybody. We get people from all over the country to be vendors. And it's not specifically just for Black vendors. It's for people that are minority vendors or just vendors in general, because you got a professional vendor circuit that goes around the country just vending at different festivals and events. Like people do this as a standard business. So it's for everybody. Anybody can be a vendor. So but what I tried to do with this particular program, and I wanted to bring our vendors or vendors in connection with these different organizations who can provide and help with funding, because we're trying to create an economic impact within the African American community with our programs. Coming out of COVID, our biggest challenge is how are we going to get back together as a community, making money, being able to do things. So this is why we created this vendor program. So this is the basis of this particular program, but we have vendors all the time. But we're trying to create an economic impact for minority vendors throughout Allegheny County and Western PA.
Yep. B, another question. I think I answered it already, but you can have more than one slot, but you got to pay for it.
Yeah, you can expand your slot.
Yep.
That was it.
Yeah, that was that one. There's a comment in here as well. If you were interested in, we understand that the Pow Pow, which is an event by Three Rivers Indian Council, that has been canceled. And if you wanted to reach out to some of their vendors as well, it's just a thought that somebody put in the chat.
Oh yeah, cool. But I'm sorry to hear that their event was canceled. So now what we're going to briefly talk about is some of the activities for the Juneteenth celebration, the Black Music Festival. And what we also have coming up in September is our Pittsburgh Soul Food Festival. So we have like 3 different programs that we have going on throughout the summer and into the early fall. So if you look at their slide, you'll see that a musical highlight or entertainment flyer for the Juneteenth celebration. We're going to have a similar flyer for the Black Music Festival, which will be starting on June the 24th to the 27th. So if you see this slide, you see we have a lot of world renowned and class entertainment coming into the city, along with our local musical entertainment and great artists inside of the city. So this will be the 3-day entertainment event for Juneteenth.
Hey, B, another question is related to that first one. Can you have more than one business in one slot?
No, each business, a business has to be in, no, you have to be independent in one slot. So business can't combine for a 10 by 10 space. Like one business has to take a space, another business has to take a space. So you can't have, but you can have multiple businesses. So you can be a person that has a clothing business, but you also sell food. You also sell whatever you may sell, in different slots. But you can't have, we can't have groups in one slot.
Thank you. That's all I got for now.
That's it. Okay. So what I wanted to do in this particular segment was allow some of the people that was previously vendors in our events, or just vendors in general, to give people some type of background or information on what you need to do, how you need to prepare. And I'm trying to see if Ms. Brown is on the line. Is Ms. Brown here?
Not here yet. I didn't see her.
She's not in?
Not yet. I didn't see her name yet.
Okay, what about Ms. Go ahead.
Nathaniel's here. Nathan Brooks. He's here.
Yeah, I'm here.
B, you froze up.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, yeah, I just stopped to see who's with us. So we'll start off with Ricky Squires, and then we'll go to Nate.
Okay, hello. Hello, everyone. Yes, my name is Rick Squires, and I am the owner of Uncle Rick's Smokehouse. And I did participate last Juneteenth, and uh, the advice, is pretty simple. And I mean, I won't be long, but the main thing is, first of all, you want to get there on time. That is very important. Actually, not on time. You want to get there early. So you have time to set up, but you when people start coming, you want to be up and rolling and ready to sell. Just by being, 30, 45 minutes late, you can miss hundreds of dollars. And You want to be, I mean, this was covered last call, but you definitely want to be prepared, meaning all your supplies, everything you need, you want to have there. I'm a food vendor, but if you're selling T-shirts or whatever you need, down from napkins to forks to whatever it is, gas. If you have a generator, everything you want to have that there. You want to you want to be prepared and have enough staff also because those lines will be long. And one of the things that we've seen at one of the other ones, I guess it was the Soul Food uh, festival, where the lines were pretty long. Everyone's line was pretty long. You want to keep it moving. So don't try to go down there with one or two people trying to handle that crowd. You just want to be prepared. But that's really it. Make sure you have everything you need, be on time, and be early rather, and have enough staff to take care of the needs of the customers.
Yeah, I'll say that's good advice and very crucial. So we'll go to Nate. He's online.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so this is Nathan Brooks with Rebel Brand Clothing. And I agree with everything that Rick just said. It's definitely important to be early and be prepared. You want to give yourself ample time to set up all of your equipment, get everything, set up and ready to sell. Make sure that you have enough staff there. Um, Other things that I ran across in the 2 years that I did the event, it's going to get hot. So make sure you have water, stay hydrated, keep yourself and your staff hydrated because they're long days and the temperature gets up there. And also be prepared for rain. So as a clothing vendor, you definitely want to have um, something there to protect your clothing, some bins or plastic, just in case the weather takes a turn. And I have seen that. And I, I know last year or 2 years ago, it definitely rained.
Yeah,
And
2018, right.
yeah, we definitely had some rain, and it was coming from all different directions.
Right.
So you want to be have a plan in place just in case it does rain during the event. Um, I would suggest to as a clothing vendor, you want to capture if you want to capture customers for the future, just have something there to capture their email address, their telephone number, something that you can stay in contact with them in the future, beyond the sale that you make or the interaction that you have with them at the event, and definitely pass out some business cards. And you might want to have someone on your staff that walks around and gives out business cards and lead people to your booth, because there are a lot of booths out there, and sometimes you might be towards the end of the line, and they might not make it to the end to your booth. So you want to give them a card and let them know where you're at, and it's a great event. And they love, like, Juneteenth crowds. They love just it's a it's an event for us. So some of the things that I noticed that sell well are those African American heroes that Afrocentric clothing, the dashikis, the dresses, things of that nature. If you want you want some suggestions on what you should bring, as well as the product that you sell on a normal basis. And yeah, that's it.
That's great. You're right. It's a cultural event, so you want to gear your stuff towards the culture.
Right.
One of the things we wanted to mention in this segment was during the month of June, what we decided to do, we're going to have a Black business promotion from the beginning of June to the end of June. And if you want to be a part of that promotion, what you can do is you can email me at wpajuneteenth@yahoo.com to find out more about that promotion for the whole month. This is separate than from our Black vendors plaza that we're going to have down there. There's a fee of $75 to participate in that event. But what we're going to do is we're going to promote Black businesses on TV, radio, throughout social media, and all throughout Allegheny County. This is a promotion of the month. June is actually Black Music Month, and it's also involved Juneteenth. So we're just going to do a whole promotion. This is brick and mortar and online business, whatever your business may be, you can be a part of that. The second thing I want to really stress is that our COVID protocol. So if you haven't got an email, if you haven't got an application, you haven't emailed me yet, make sure you email me for an application, and make sure that you review the protocol, the COVID protocol guidelines, because we're going to be very strict on that. In order to have this event, we got to make sure that we are having a safe environment for the community and for the people that's coming down to be a part of it. We're getting a little boost by the vaccine program that's being implemented throughout the city and throughout the county, with more people getting vaccinated. So that's helping us to expand the event. But we still want to make sure that we have a safe environment. We're keeping our customers safe. We're keeping our community safe. So you really need to look over the protocol that we have inside of the application, because that's serious around this time right now.
Hey, before Nathan, before you leave out, do you have any tips on? I don't know if you have this on your booth, but maybe you might. If anybody has any products, to set them up on boxes or something so that they're eye level. So when people are walking by, they're able to see your things. Do you have any tips on that by any chance?
Yeah, so that's a good point. I know there's you can bring some hangers. You don't want to put out too many products, but like you said, you do want to have it where it is visible for the customers as they're walking by, so they don't have to get too close to you. And yeah, I haven't put much thought into that, but that's a really good point.
All right, cool. And I got a question for you, B, right here. Do you ever see service-based businesses vending to bring awareness?
Yeah. Yeah, I see service-based business vending to bring awareness. That's a great idea.
There you go. All right, Rhonda, there you go. So that's your question there. Couple of questions. I know we're getting ready to hit this slide here, but as you're talking about this right here, B, if you could talk about what is the PayPal address to send payments, and can I scan and email the application? And then there's also one, are you allowed to pay by the day, even if you want more than one slide?
So in the past, we've done that, allow people to pay by the day or pay after their day comes down. So we might look at that too, but we're being actually overwhelmed with the number of people that want to be a vendor. So if you try to get a Kiva loan, try to get a Kiva loan to help you pay your vendor's fee, because that's why we're putting you in contact with these people right here to help you get some financing and build up your inventory and stuff like that. Because I really don't think that we'll have too many vendors slots available because of the overwhelming number of people who want to participate in the program, that people are going to basically pay their vendor's fee before we get to the events. One of the things that I wanted to mention too is that we're working on trying to get some tent sponsorship. So for people that really can't afford tents or might just want to pay a small fee to use a tent and don't want to come down and set up a tent, that might be available too. We're seeing what we can do with that. We're doing something with the URA and with the city about trying to get tents for people that are really in dire straits. So you might can qualify for a tent. We're going to put that out there as soon as we get the information. But again, all the information about the fees and other things are inside the application. So you just want to email us at WPA Juneteenth celebration, and that will explain to you the same thing that you see on the screen right here. Nonprofits or $50 a day, craft vendors. That is a handmade item. That is not a shirt with a print on it. A craft vendor is somebody who actually makes something through their hands. And so regular item vendors are $75 and food vendors are $150. If you want to get a tent inside of the park, it's going to be $125. That's for the whole weekend. And mainly that'll be on the Black Music Festival event, because our vendors for the Juneteenth celebration are going to be on the outside inside of the plaza.
Hey, B, a couple more questions here.
Can I mention something about the tents?
Yep, go ahead, Rick.
Another bit of advice is to make sure you bring something heavy to anchor your tents, because it can get windy sometimes.
You're correct.
And tents will blow away. You can actually hurt someone. That a gust of wind take that tent up, and it can actually hurt someone. So you want to have something where you can anchor those tents down, something heavy.
Yep. And Chanel also suggested that as well, Callaway, so to bring something to weigh your tents down. I think I can't remember the gentleman last week. He was even suggesting just water is able to hold those tents down if you don't have weights or things like that.
Or sandbags.
Sandbags.
Normally people use sandbags.
Right, sandbags. You can get them at any children's play store or at a Home Depot, Lowe's, or things like that as well. So got another question for you. And how many vendors do you usually have at these events? And
So normally we've been averaging about 40 vendors for this celebration, between 40 and 50. But the space that we have now that we're going to use as our plaza, we're looking for over 100 vendors for this event, and that's all type of vendors.
right.
Because again, the plaza is going to be from Stanwyck and Penn and Liberty Avenue over to Commonwealth Place. If you're familiar with the Arts Festival, for example, if you leave out of Market Square when you're standing down here on the corner where the McDonald's is, once you cross the street, that's inside of the street and on the sidewalks, the Arts Festival starts right there and it goes all the way to the area of the points, which is Commonwealth Place. So that's going to be our area for our vendors plaza for our vendors.
All right. And I want to get back to this one question about the PayPal address and if you can scan over the application, or if they can send the app, if we can send the application back over to you. What is the PayPal address by any chance?
So what you'll do is once you send back the application or you email me back and say you want to pay through PayPal, we'll send you a PayPal link. We'll send you an invoice so you can have the invoice. So once you send back the application, all you have to do is this email back and say that you want to pay by PayPal, and we'll send you an invoice for your payment.
Yep. Hey, where can I obtain the vendor's license at? Online. I think, is it online somewhere?
You don't need to have a vendor's license to vend in the festival. You need to have a health certificate if you are a food vendor, and you have to go to the health department to get the $40 health safety certificate. But if you're just a regular vendor and you have a business, you don't need a license to be a vendor.
All right.
And the other aspect is that we provide insurance for the whole event. So you really don't have to have insurance, only for your personal business, but we provide insurance.
Okay. I got a few more questions coming through here. What if you're doing all those businesses? Would you pay all those fees for one business? So I'm assuming you mean when he gave an example that you're one individual and you might be doing 2 or 3 different things in your business. Do you only
No,
have
you would just pay for your space.
your space,
You
right?
wouldn't pay all the fees. So if you came in as a item vendor, but you also sell craft stuff, then you would have to pay the $75 as an item vendor, and then that's it. And you could sell craft stuff, or you could be a nonprofit, but you still selling stuff as an item vendor. And actually, we have some people that are nonprofits that are selling items, so they only pay $75. They don't pay 75 and then 50 and then another 50.
Hey, speaking of that nonprofit question, I just want you to reiterate about the water and the soda again.
Yeah, so for food vendors and other people, you can't sell water or sodas because we have a charity event going on where we're selling the waters and sodas. You can't sell water or sodas or other liquids, but this doesn't have to do with people that sell icy balls or lemonade or things of that nature. You just can't sell water or soda.
Okay, so this leads into my next question with Teresa. Teresa Poindexter. She says, I sell herbal extracts and organic loose leaf teas. I make them all by hand. Would I fall under craft or general products?
So she makes everything by hand, then
Yes.
you're a craft vendor.
You got that, Teresa? All right. Here's one from Tamar's. Where will clothing vendors be located? If I have my own 10 by 10, will I still have to pay the 125?
No, if you have your own tent, you don't have to pay a tent fee. The tent fee is for people that don't have a tent.
Right.
If you have your own tent, you don't have to pay a tent fee.
Right. And then she's just asking where would clothing vendors be located?
So we're going to set up different spaces down there once we get a hold of how many vendors we have in a particular grouping, and then you'll know once you come down there to set up.
Yep.
But if you can afford not to, this is a suggestion. If you can afford not to have to bring your own tent and you can afford the tent fee, I would suggest that you pay the tent fee. And for those that can qualify, because if you pay the tent fee, now all you got to do is bring your material. You don't have to come down here to set up, nor do you have to break down the tent when it's time to leave. This is my suggestion. If you can afford to pay the tent fee, and for the people that we're going to try to get tents for, I wouldn't bring a tent if I didn't have to. I would be trying to bring my products. So that way I can just unload, set up, come in. It's already set up for me. I can leave out. But if you got a specialized tent and your tent may have B Marshall Productions on the front of it or something like that, then I can understand why you want to bring your tent to an event. But if you don't have that situation, my suggestion is that it'll be a lot more convenient for you just to bring your material. And what we're trying to do is once you come set up, we're trying to get the city to block off the boulevard alleys to give us street ordinance so you can park your vehicle on the boulevard of the alleys and walk back over. So you'll drop off in the morning, unload, set up your material, move your car or move your vehicle off to the boulevard of the alleys to park. And then there's other parking garages down if you want to park in a parking garage.
Yep. All right. Hey, Emily, when you get a chance, can you put the application in the chat by any chance if you can?
I will try. I haven't had much luck with Zoom file uploads, but I can.
We'll try. I
It
know
works.
last week we sent the application out after this event. So we'll do the same thing again to make sure that that's sent out after the event. If we can't put it in the chat, so you will receive it after tonight, first thing in the morning or so. Donovan is asking a question to you, B. Or he makes bearded oil blended by hand. Is that considered a crafter because he makes it by hand?
Yeah, but where do the products come from? Like, where do your products come from? Is this something that you made from a particular thing? You know what I mean? Because you blend products together doesn't mean that you are a crafter. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, are artisans considered crafters? So, but Donovan, take your mic, unmute yourself, and you can ask that question. Respond back to B's question.
Absolutely. So we buy our raw ingredients, our carrier oils and essential oils from bulk vendors, and then we make our beard oil in small batches, 25
Yeah,
bottles
okay.
or 24
So,
bottles.
so what you just explained to me right there makes you a crafter. You buy your raw materials from somewhere else, and then you make the product yourself. Yeah, so you're a crafter.
So now, I think the reason why, because my wife and I are tag teaming this, the reason why the question got lifted is because we make that's our main product. We also sell a brown sandalwood beard comb. And so
that makes you an item vendor.
So it's how do we do our application? Is it just only bring the stuff that is crafted and thus that's all we have, or because we're going to bring one of our items that is a curated item, do we become the item?
You have just became an item vendor, brother.
Okay. And that's not a problem.
So you're an item vendor, but you can bring all of your material.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Hey, Tamika, I got a question here. I'm a handmade vendor, but I also design and make shirts under my business. Will I need to pay 2 fees, just the crafter fee or the items fee?
So you're similar to the brother that this asked the other question. You are an item vendor, and then you can sell your crafts along with your items, and it's only one fee. It's $75.
Thank you. Yeah, I had put that in the chat for
Yeah,
you
I
on
just
that.
see
He
that
had
now. Yep.
answered. Thank you, Doug.
Yep. Another question here. I don't know if you answered this yet, but will the clothing vendors be visible?
Everybody's gonna be visible.
Yep. Everybody's visible. You're in Point Park and down in that whole area, so people do walk around if you've never been to any of down there. Is the tent fee for just food vendors inside? I think we kind of explained that, Tamika. Did you get that answer right there?
I was
Tamika?
just asking because on the application it says that the tent is for food vendors to be inside the park. So I just need a clarification on that.
So the plaza is where all the item vendors are going to be, which is going to be between Stanwyck Street and Commonwealth Place. And then we're also going to have food vendors inside of there too. But our plaza, our business plaza, small business plaza, is that strip right there. And then it'll be a stage inside of there. There's going to be entertainment. There's going to be different stuff going on inside of that area for the community.
So as an item vendor, are we still able to set up inside where the stage is?
Yeah, you're going to be inside the plaza.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And there's going to be a stage inside of there.
Got you. Thank you.
All right. If anybody wants to get one of those tent fees from Point Park, do you know who they pay for those tent fees?
You'd have to pay us.
The
They
one,
have to pay us.
and then you go to Point Park and have it set up.
Yes, it's not through Point Park. We go through a tent vendor.
A tent vendor. Okay.
Yeah.
So that 120, that should answer your question. Tanya Wilson, did that answer your question? You have a question. Did we already talk about the tent fee? We did.
Well, I'm looking at the bottom and it says additional flat event fees, tent fee for vendor or food vendors in Point Park is 120. I'm a crafter, so is the fee the same, 120?
Yeah, but you're not going to be inside of Point Park. You're going to be on the plaza, which is going to be in between Stanwyck and Commonwealth Place.
Okay, but if I still want to get a tent, will I still be able to do that?
Yeah, you'll be able to get a tent, but send us your information, and what we're going to try to do is see if you can qualify. We might have opportunity to get some free tents for people that can't qualify, don't have enough funding.
Does this map help you explain?
Thank you.
Let's see. Can everybody see the map? Can everybody see the map?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you see on the map, you'll see Liberty Avenue. You'll see the Wyndham Grand Hotel right at the corner. and then go backwards onto Liberty Avenue and Penn Avenue on the one side, and then Liberty Avenue and Penn Avenue on the other side. That leads all the way up to Stanwyck Street. And in that area right there is going to be our vendors plaza for people.
So it's kind of like this whole long thin part
That
here.
whole area, right? That whole area is going to be our vendors plaza, where people will be walking through that whole area, either to go inside of Point Park or to be watching the entertainment that's inside of the plaza or whatever they may be doing. And that area right there is the first point of contact for people to come in, for you to people to engage the vendors. And that's why we selected that as our vendors plaza. And the streets are going to be blocked off, so cars and vehicles are not going to be able to come inside of the area that we're calling our vendors plaza. So I hope that helps people understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
Another question here regarding those tents. If they purchase the tent, do they come with the sandbags, or should they bring them?
Yeah. So no. So if you purchase a tent, then the tent's going to be set up when you come down there. So weights will be on the tent. Everything will be set up. All you got to do is bring your material, and you have to bring a table, chairs if you need that, and into the tent.
Okay. Got another question from, hold on, it disappeared. Oh, right here. Tanya, did we answer your second question? I'm asking about the tent fee because I'm a craft.
Yes.
We did. Okay.
Yes, Juan. Thank you.
All right. As you can see, Emily did put the application in the chat. So if anybody wants to click on that, you can see it is in the chat. She put a link, and it looks like she also put a Word document or some sort of document. You might be able to click on that and upload it and be able to get that application. I don't understand this. Maybe it's two-part, Marissa. Who determines where vendors will be located? What if and I didn't understand the first one. Your first question is, what if you sell items and food? I didn't understand. So if you want to unmute yourself on the mic, and that would be great.
Hi, the first question with if you're selling items and food, it seems like I'm doing everything. I want to sell the food, the crafts, information, items, yes. So if I'm doing all of that and food, and the food is very simple, like supplements, some fruit for the kids, just simple stuff like that. Would it be 2 different fees or still just 1 fee?
It's just 1 fee, but if you're a food vendor, you're a food vendor, sis. So you have to pay the food vendor fee. So you can sell whatever else you want to sell within that in your area, but you have to pay the overall riding fee, which is the food vendor fee.
Okay, and I would need a health certificate for the event?
Yeah, you're gonna have to get a health certificate. If you're a food vendor, you have to get a health permit, because what they have done on previous occasions is they've come down there to check and see if vendors had health permits on our previous events. So we just want to make sure everybody's prepared. Now, what they in 2019, I think they did at the Soul Food Festival, if you didn't have a permit, they allowed you to pay for it then on that occasion. And I think it was a little bit of an up fee for that they required. But also in 2016, when they came down, they shut down people who didn't have a health permit. So I wouldn't chance it. I would get my health permit. It's only $40. It's not gonna make or break you. If you can't get the permit, then you probably don't need to be vending. You know what I mean? So I would get the permit and just be safe, on the safe side.
Right. I just wanted to be clear.
Yeah.
The second part of the question is the location of the vendors. Is it a first come?
No, we're gonna assign you a space once you get down there. Okay. And that's gonna be based on how many vendors that we have. Like, we're gonna have a arts and crafts section, and then we're gonna have a food section, then we're gonna have maybe a African garb section or item section. So it's a little bit of design and management to what we're trying to do.
Right. So I guess I'll be right in the middle.
I don't know.
Thank you.
mention something about that health permit. When you go to the health department, they're going to sit you down and they're going to go through a checklist. They're going to ask you, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? How are you going to store this? Where's your disinfectant? What are you using for this? So it's a checklist that you're going to have to go through, and once you satisfy what they want, then they'll give you that permit. But just be prepared to tell them how you're going to store food, how you're going to dispose of this. Some of the other questions that they're going to ask you. So just be prepared for that when you go to the health department.
And sorry, thank you, Rick, for bringing that up. And I don't want to confuse anybody. In order to be a food vendor, you actually have to be a licensed restaurant service person, or you have to have a restaurant, or you have to be a caterer or something like that. Anybody just can't be a food vendor.